Hi, this is Kim Pinkney and welcome to my channel. Alrighty, well today is day 21 of the 30-day superhero challenge, and I decided I was going to show you my process from beginning to end because I have no idea what I want to do. Okay, so what I like to do is have the choices made by random from the characters from 1 to 7 that were created in the first week, and I have to at least pick two from there. So I'm going to random.org. I've already set it to between 1 and 7, and so we're going to go ahead and generate the first number. Okay, so we're going to use person number 4 from day 4 and number 5. Okay, so those people, let me get rid of this window, take some of the edge off here. Let's see. Let's see who we've got here. Let's see what we've got. From the stack. It's gonna be where are you? There you are. Okay, so let me see who we've got here. Let me go back to my little listing here. Okay, so number 4 is our one of my favorites. Okay, it's the pug. All right. Let's see. It's going to be this guy here, and number 5, who is the sorceress. Okay, so I haven't had both of them together. Okay, so I have this guy here and Sultana. Now the trick is I don't know what his civilian clothes are. I never designed him with civilian clothes. Crap. Crap. Let's see. Okay, so in the other character, let me go ahead and get to her, and I'll show you guys who she is. It's this character here. She's like a lawyer, Sultana. Let's see if I've got one that she's not like in shock or flying. And no, I don't. There she is. She's my phoenix, basically. She's the random generator on her day came up with the idea that her outfit resembles a phoenix, and it does. It gets her to her clients, it gets her to court, it gets her all over the place, and her briefcase at the same time. And then this guy here, I want to call him the pug because he seems to like that outfit a little bit better than some of the other doggy outfits he's been forced to wear. He is, let me get his official title. You know, I was going to change his name because I couldn't pronounce it. I had gone to a random generator and it just threw me a name, and I'm like, I can't pronounce this. It makes no sense. I can't work with this. But, you know, I tried to use everything that I could from my random generator. Okay, so anyway, let's see, it's not this guy. I'm trying to find his description. There's Sultana. Let's see. Here's another version of her. Let's see, let me get out of this. That has her look about her. It's closer to her look. She's very awkward looking, trying to cast spells and stuff. Okay, so that's her thing. Let's see. But let's see. Okay, here he is, and he is. Let's see. Let me make my little screen a little bigger so I can read my own writing. Okay, so the title that the let me reset this, that the random generator created and I adopted, and I couldn't pronounce his name. His name is Axatuh, Axatuh. I might even dub Azata. That makes it easier to say. Also known as the Hound Grotesque. and he's a psychic. He's neutral flighty, if you want to give him a an alignment. Neutral flighty. His boss nemesis is this artistic goddess of wildlife who is angsty good. That's her alignment, and she takes the form of an older woman. Okay, so enough about her. Let's see. And his description from the random generator was, this disloyal god of culture takes the form of a young man. He has a boyish build. He has straight, medium length, slate gray hair, worn in an uncomplicated style. I've changed him up so that he looks a little bit more like Peter Dinklage. Just because I adore him. This was one of the other costumes, and I'm like, I don't know if I like it. But he's the one that is going to be my giant. He is a giant, but he has the little person build. But he's a giant. So the more strength that he has, the more power that he has, the bigger he is. To the point where he can take on man-sized robots like these, or cyber, I don't know, what do you call those things? Cybernetic? Bio creatures type of thing. So these guys can fit a whole person inside of them and be piloted like this. Come on, you. Inside like this. And this is the guy I was thinking I was going to join the fight. But no, the random generator, in its wisdom, or its randomness, chose these two to go for it. So, alright. She's going to be, her civilian clothes are her clothes. She does not have a secret identity. She works with a law firm that does magic. But him, I'm not sure what to put him in. So I guess it'd be normal clothes. And he pretty much uses tarot cards for his strengths or his powers. His powers are going to be randomly generated. He pulled a card called the Seven of Chains and was able to bind up like 7 of these beholder creatures, which is these things without the eye stalks. Let's see. I was too lazy to finish this one. Well, actually, no, I wasn't too lazy. I was trying to keep up. But yeah, so this little guy here, and I think I've even got little thumbnail images of him in his actual size doing his thing with his cards. So I'm trying to figure out how to make this work. Now, I was hoping that I was going to throw this guy in wearing this and getting ready to jump into the fight. And that guy, he's the only one really with a civilian identity. I have not given her a civilian identity because she's always super. It's really crazy. I did not do that, and I wish I would have thought of this more when I was randomly generating these characters. Let's see. All right, so okay, so I still am not quite sure what I want to do, but we're going to have them fighting. Okay, so instead of dilly-dallying along, I think I'll go ahead and let's see, I'll stay in stacked. I can't remember if there's anything in this. I think this might be just a blank. Let's see if there's anything on here. Yeah, this is blank. Okay, good. I can use that. Okay, so I need someone to jump into the fight. One of these two guys, and I'm trying to decide. Okay, while in civilian clothes. Let's see, did it give him anything else? Agent of Alley Cat, specializes in anthropology, has a weakness for the busty, half-alien bunny girl adult actress. And this is all randomly generated from the site, Seventh Sanctum. Okay, so this is I usually create a Google document, Google Slides, and I put source images here. And I think what I'll do, and here's my source image of Mr. Dinklage. Now I'm trying to think how and what would he do as a civilian. And I'm trying to trying to figure it out. He carries a blessed bell. Slitted eyes are beige, tan skin, usually portrayed as wearing in a costume that is mostly azure in color. I changed all that crap. So let's go ahead and make him a human who has to serve this goddess. So, but what would he do in his civilian attire? Well, let's find out. Let's go ahead and give him, we're going to go to seventhsanctum.com, and let me do that on my pad here, just to take a little edge off of my computer. Let's see, let me turn that off because I don't want to add one more thing to my computer. There we go. Alright, so to Seventh Sanctum. Have I been there? Not lately. Let's see. There we go. Alright, when you go to Seventh Sanctum, it opens up kind of like this. It's just the screen, and I will go ahead and go to generator types at the very top. And if you want to, you can always look at the blog that's down here. Sometimes the person gives reviews, different story ideas, what's going on in their neck of the woods. It's a really great resource for writers and artists and everything in between. Let's see. So, characters. Let's see. I want to give him a... Let's see. So, let's see. Characters. And I've got general character generator. I've got quick character generator. Fanboy, fangirl. Let's see. Deities, magical girl, super... Just one average person. So let's see what we got. We got quick character generator. Gives us a profile. And then this one here gives anime and non-anime style. Let's try the quick character generator and see what it does. Okay. I've got 50 things set up here, and I don't have to choose any of those. Usually I let the generator, I'll change this to 1 and then use whatever the thing comes up with. So let's see, but looking at some of my choices, I've got the acrobat, smart gigolo, and that would not be a bad thing for him. Infamous peddler, they spelled peddler wrong, but that's okay. The plain aggravated comic, selfless explorer, usually from an unusual family line, the outlaw. Let's see, what else looks good? Oh, you know, what's really cool about this is that they have comments at the very bottom. So people share their most funniest comments. Like this one here, the dexterous poet haunted by dark memories, crammed into a 2-square-foot closet. Is this a dagger that I see before me? I don't know. The popular actor who is given to moments of deep introspection, to be or not to be, eyes wide, staring down at his hands. That is the question. The weak private midwife, out of the side of her mouth. Yeah, I can deliver your baby. Come to the bridge at midnight. That's the private midwife. Also, I faint at the sight of blood, so you're kind of gonna have to be on your own after the first couple. That's cool. Let's see. The lawman who is given to moments of deep introspection. I am reaching, but I fall, and the stars are black and cold. You know, as I stare into the void of a world that I cannot hold. I'll escape now from that world, from the world of Jean Valjean. God. Okay, the sickly martial artist. Hi, achoo! Okay, anyway. The enduring martial artist has to deal with both of them. Weird. Okay. Athletic, hateful assassin. This guy says it's perfect for him. Unstable tomb robber who can't resist helping people. Says, I think there's someone alive down there. I must help them or rob them. Or is it only my unhinged imagination driven wild by these haunting tombs? What shall I do? Wrings hands into the mist. That was awesome. Let's see. The withdrawn pharmacist. I just like the pun with this one. The withdrawn pharmacist. Okay. The nimble, tactless, amiable murderer. This guy is just a walking paradox. Let's see. The crippled, craven, bloodthirsty prostitute needing a friend. Needing a friend, quote unquote. And no one says, you've got a friend in me. Some of these are good. Some of these are like, let's see. Here we go. The tireless, rude adventurer. Conan the a-hole. Oh, that's funny. Bloodthirsty, altruistic priestess. Hail Hydra. And then it says all kinds of stuff. Right, I'm going to go. All right. And then the experienced, sarcastic mentor looking for love. Wow. Have fun looking for love. Greedy bandit with a heart of gold. They probably keep that gold heart to themselves too. Some of these are really fun, and then I found a really cool name for one of the characters in there, but not today. Okay, so we're gonna change this to one character. And okay, let's see. Good Lord, please give me something that I can change him into. Okay, go. The hermit seeking purpose. Damn, how do I show a hermit? Well, that would make sense why he's hanging out with this goddess thing. But what do us... And we're in a city type of place. So I'm trying to figure out how to make this work. How can he be a hermit? Okay, maybe not that. Let me try another one. One more. The joyful, moralizing smuggler who is considered the best in his profession. Let's see. You know, the one with the hermit, I can make him like into one of those, you know, have you heard the word of God lately type of people. You know, Church of Religious Consciousness, you know, and they give out flowers or something like that. And yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, all right. So now we need a bad guy. We need a creature. We need something. I think I'll go ahead and use the idea that Tatted Hearts came up with last night, or yesterday morning. God, it's so freaking difficult. Okay, so last live stream, Tatted Hearts popped in and was talking about a super villainous, and I'm bringing her from another dimension. And let's see if I can find the presentation that had that. And one of the best ways to give me ideas or to share ideas is through Google Docs. And let me see, here's my drive. Let me bring my drive on over. Or actually, I don't even have to do that. Let me get out of this. Stop. Put you back. Go back. Or be gone. One or the other. Anyway, I can find it here. I use this when I'm on the road. There we go. Long-haired superhero. That was easy. Okay, so Tatted Hearts gave me this character here. It's Ariana Grande. And I'm like, you know what? She would be an excellent alien creature. One of the female creatures that created let's see, where'd we go? That created this character. Or rather, this character. These two characters. They share the same body, and pretty much in a single sex environment, they switch over into to the opposite gender. So like if we're surrounded by men, she would appear, because obviously he's in danger, because he's rarely ever surrounded by men. If he's ever surrounded by a bunch of men, she appears, type of thing. They switch, but they're never at the same time, at the same, they're never the same. And he's got a weird power with the lipstick. If he can nail a kiss, it sends a ripple of what is it called? Like a paranormal type of massage. It's very strange. He's got the power over that, and he carries some lipsticks around. He likes this blue one because it's kind of cool. It works with him. But she does these other powers. She has other powers. So a shield. So like if anything hits her windshield that she generates from her hands, it's reflected back at someone with her additional power put behind it. Whatever hits it. So that's these two that occupy the same cybernetic body. They would make really awesome Transformers. Just like when she takes over, she just transforms and becomes her, and then when he comes back, things fold into itself and become him. That would be kind of cool. Okay, anyway, so Ariana Grande is kind of an oppressor of these guys who the guy owns a host club, and she's pretty much the bouncer, I guess, or his defender. So when the shit hits the fan, she pops out. Okay, so the shit's about to hit the fan, and I'm wondering if I want to combine a few things. So let me go back and grab this one here, and let's see, I wonder if I can let's see if it'll let me do this. Share. Just want to grab I don't want to combine them. Let's see. Let me do something real quick. Hopefully it won't mess anything up. I'm going to take this, copy, and then see if it'll undo. There we go. Let's see, do I get to keep the copy? Yes, sweet. Okay. So we'll have them off to the side somewhere. We'll have them in the background. Make them smaller. And then we'll have Ariana Grande. And I think what I want to do is I want her hair, because Tatted Hearts had said that that Ariana, I wonder, hold up, I want to use some of the background here. You know what, I don't need to. I can do this. And then make the background here black. Put these guys above it. And just kind of let them come on you. There we go. Okay, so they're there. Let's see. So we got that going on. And in the foreground here, and in the meantime, we'll go ahead and hide all those guys. In the foreground, we'll have I'm going to do a quick sketch. Let's see. We'll have our giant. He's going to have a tarot card already pulled. And he's going to go ahead and give her a little flower. Let's see, we'll have that behind. I'm trying to think, should I wrap? We'll have his tail. He's got like a little tail in his costume. Let's see. So he's got like a little curly pug tail. And we'll have that kind of coming out. And we'll say that she's trying to, it's not much of a fray, but she's going to make it that way. Let's see, so, okay, so we got his little legs. And then since he's a hermit, he'll have a book. We'll have a book bag. Or should we put it on this side? Yeah, we'll put it on this side. He's a traveler. We'll say he's a traveler. We don't want to overload him here. Let's see, and we'll have it come this way. Okay, let's see, and I'll now for because I don't know exactly how I want to do this, and his arms are kind of short here, but his head is a little bigger, and we'll say like right here where his eyes are. I'm going to erase a little bit of the lines here so that it's a little easier to see. Yeah, for me, I don't like to, and this is from years of doing this sort of thing, of drawing and not knowing exactly how things are going to, you know, kind of play out. So, let's see. So, let's say he just finished messing with the guys in the, in those big round orb things, the beholder beast, cyber beasts, and he's not in his, he's going to be in a civilian clothing. So let's see, I'm trying to think of how he'll, you know what, he probably doesn't need a big book. Plus, in this place, paper is because this is a futuristic world, paper is kind of rare. But his tarot cards aren't really made of paper. So we'll put that behind him. We'll have him gripping a little bit of a book, just a little book, like one of those little mini Bibles. And so we'll have this here. I want to be able to see his, like he's got a tie on. Should we do the bow tie? We'll do a bow tie with a, so he's not, let's see, maybe he's on one of those, what is it called? Things where you have to, for a week, you have to witness to people or something like that. and he's going to offer her some sort of flower. But in the meantime, he's got a spell that's going to F her up. And what spell will that be? Let's find out. In the Seventh Sanctum, there are, let's see, I think there's magic, and it's got tarot cards. And every tarot card this guy's going to use, we're going to pull from here. So basically, maybe I'll have like a little stack in his pouch of different tarot cards that he can pull. So let's see what card he's going to pull. We're going to generate. We're going to we're going to knock it down to one card, and then we're going to generate a card. The sword. Oh hell. Okay. So what's going to happen? Bum bum bum. Is that Ariana, I need to give her a pose. Okay, I do have an idea for a pose, but I want to see if I can find one here. And one of the places that I like to go to is Pinterest, and I have some poses already selected, or some poses. Let's see, but I want something where she's going to kind of, let me see. I want to do this. I want him to like distract her. And let's see. Let's do a little quick drawing here. I want her here. She's got the long ponytail. And the idea I kind of have is that the ponytail is supposed to have a mind of its own, according to Tatted Hearts. So I want to kind of find a pose where she's kind of in air, and her ponytail is what's supporting her. So it's kind of wrapping around, and it's about to, I'm thinking it's about to attack. I think it's going to fray itself at the ends here. We'll have this sort of thing happening. So before it attacks, the hair is hesitating. So I want the hair to like she's not walking, and I figure she's kind of made of the same stuff that they are, and she's in a cybernetic body as well. Or even better, the hair is the actual entity, and she's like the accessory. The body here is an accessory. Because Tatted Hearts did say that and I'll make this into a claw, or claw-like thing that's going to come after him. But he looks benign. However, he's got, oh yeah, I forgot the number. I think it was called the sword. Okay, so it'll be like a major arcana thing. Okay. And then, so his little puggy tail, and I need to leave it open so that we can read the name. And just for giggles, I'm going to toss this in here. I need to capitalize that. There we go. Alright, edit the style, and I want an interesting font. Kind of decorative. Optima looks good. Oh, Papyrus is good. Okay, we'll do that. We'll have Papyrus as the one for this one. And I want to say that every set of cards that he pulls is totally from a random deck. So it's like he's got different decks that he can pull from in order to work his power. So we have the sword. We're going to have that kind of light up, and I'm going to use that again. Okay, so there's that. So we've got the sword, and I can, oops, cancel. And this will give me an opportunity to design a very interesting looking sword. Let's see, we'll bring this up a bit. I'm going to move the sword up a little bit so we can see it better. And you know, tarot cards are a little bit oversized. They're not like regular playing cards. They're pretty long, almost like what do you call those kind of cards? Like flashcards, if you can remember that back when you were a kid. Now the cards here, they don't always go with the typical tarot. Like they'll be like the one there, the chains and stuff like that. That doesn't exist in the tarot genre, but it does when he pulls from the Sanctum deck. Let's call it the Sanctum deck. Give it a nod to Seventh Sanctum. So he's a fun character. Let's see. So we should give him some sort of like monk robes. Now, it's not uncommon to see people in animal garb and stuff like that, because this is a world that has anthropomorphic creatures, elves and dwarves and stuff like that. And one of the characters has the power of a cat. She's got vitiligo that gives her that denotes her affinity towards this particular power. Okay, so we'll have this kind of loose, just a very loose sketch. And let's see, let's use our Pinterest here, and this will help with different other things. So I want to see if I can find an interesting pose, and I want to just take a few seconds and take a peek and see if I can find something that would be interesting. So this right here is an interesting pose. Her hair can wrap around, and look at him. I like this pose. I like this a lot. Hold up. Now, I don't want her to actually touch the ground. I think I want to make her very, not just very evil, and not just very lazy either. There we go. I don't want to do that. I was trying to grab the picture. Let me go back. How do I get out of this? Okay, go back. Save under favorite poses. Okay. All right. And I wonder if I can grab it. Is there a copy? There is not. Okay, no worries. I have, where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up like this, and I'm going to see if Pinterest will play nice. I'm going to put Pinterest over here. There we go. And the pose that I will use is, it's not unlike what I've got, but I want her a little bit more, let's see, and we're gonna have to throw bodies and skulls or stuff around. That'd be cool. Let's see. We'll take this. Actually, we'll take her here. And then I'm going to move it and kind of give it a little tilt here. There we go. That way her weight will look like it's, I'm going to have to do something real quick. Like he's interrupting. It's like, what the? And there's going to be a reason for this interruption because, let's see. Well, first let's get her body in there. Well, actually, we'll draw the easy thing first. The sword is right here. And if she, well, we'll put the sword somewhere around there. I thought it would be easy to throw it in there, but I think I want to redesign it so that there's a hand holding that sword. And that's what's going to manifest behind her. Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have no idea what you want to do, and I am definitely using Seventh Sanctum because it's like I would not have come up with this idea without it. Let's see. And at first I was going to be like, no, I'm not going to do that. But it works. You just got to let your imagination kind of run a little bit too. Let's see, we'll give her spine here. We'll have her leg here. And then the other leg, let's see. We'll see if we can do that. And we'll tilt her even more. We don't need this anymore. And we'll make her a little smaller because she is a little lady. And she uses heels to make her look bigger. Even though she doesn't. And they should be impossible heels. Let's see. And we'll tilt her a bit. Because we want her to look kind of down on him. He's definitely always overestimated. Let's see. Or underestimated, rather. Okay, so her head is tilted to kind of look down on him. And then the sword will be positioned to probably cut her hair. Let's see. And we'll throw a hand somewhere. We'll look on Pinterest and see what we come up with. All right. Okay, so I'm just loosely doing the pose here. And adjusting the body just a bit for a woman. And then we'll give her heels. Crazy. the fun part would be watching her in these heels. Well, she could probably take out somebody at these things. It would be like a weapon. And we'll even do the heels in the position that we've got. This pose here. Most ridiculous. And then I liked the idea of the 80s thing. So we got to get to the puffy sleeves. Now, this alien race here, they were bombarded by rays from, not even rays, what's it called? Waves from Earth's programming. So it's like when a TV show is broadcast, it doesn't just disappear. You know, it goes off into space, and the waves just keep going and going. So the waves hit this this alien race, and it started to form their culture around 80s programming. So, thank you ABC, NBC, CBS. Or it could all be based on Fox News. Lots of misinformation, but I don't think Fox News was around then. So, let's see, at least not in its current. Let me make her foot normal first, and then throw the crazy heel on there. Now, you'll find that it's not always easy just to draw out like Kim Jong-il. Not all of us are at his level. Just to draw out what you want. That's why I like to do a loose sketch, especially if you're just like me, who just wakes up, you know, brush your teeth, take a shower, brush your teeth, whatever. Haven't even eaten breakfast yet, haven't had a decent cup of coffee or anything. And, you know, the only time you really have to sketch is like before the crack of dawn. That's me. And then by the time I get home, I'm too tired from work and riding my bike, and I've been fed, watered, and you know, caffeinated enough, and just too tired to do anything else but fall asleep. Like there was one day I just fell asleep at 7:30. I'm like, I'm done for the day. I'm just tired. I'm pooped. Tired of being admired, tired of loving inspired. Okay, so let's give this a little bit of a. So what I do is I just try to, you know, do a very loose sketch. It's kind of hard to do with this particular brush, but when I'm using a pencil, and I always have an eraser very close by, I would do light loose sketches. That way I can erase them pretty easy. And eventually one of those lines would be the lines that I keep. Now we're not going to see her buns like this. We'll have that, oh, you know, this could be like a Robert Palmer addicted to love type of girl. Na-na-na-na-na, you're addicted to love. They all look the same. They're the same white girl. Vacant look with red lipstick. That kind of girl. Let's see, but we're not going to do that. We're going to give her a nice little 80s outfit. Very sparkly. Because the 80s was all about like neons and pastels. Just the most gaudiest shit that you've ever seen. Oh my gosh, I got this one story where my brother, he definitely was like a Mr. Trendy. Let's see, we'll give that. And he had these Bermuda shorts were the thing. They're the long shorts. Like, here's your legs, Here's her kneecap. Those shorts came all the way down to here. So you couldn't really call them shorts. Here's her foot. You know, such as it is, poor thing. But yeah, so he had these long ass shorts, and I shit you not, this is, you know what, I should put somebody in that. They had little palm trees all over it, and then it had these stripes in different rainbow colors, but they're deeper, darker colors. And so you had like this rainbows speckled with palm trees, and then on the crotch was defined like this. So you have the crotch bright yellow with these colors on these long ass shorts. You could not tell that boy he was not styling. Yeah, my brother was Mr. California. He was definitely an outside cat. I was an inside cat. He's an outside cat. He's cool as shit though. And he's still an outside cat. But yeah, he definitely had the style. I still don't have any style. I have no style. I would be the Bill Gates, not Bill Gates, what's his name? The other guy, the Apple dude. Steve Jobs. If I could, I would do what Steve Jobs does and wear the same shit every day. Why make life even more complicated? Oh, formal? Well, I'll have my formal turtleneck on. How about that? Okay, so let's get a little bit of... So, oh, you want some of this? You want some of this? I got some of this for you. So we need to have some sort of power getting ready to come out of her hands. Something dangerous. There we go. We'll have a... Okay, so... We'll have... And we'll have, like... Let's see, Ariana was wearing some sort of things on her hips, which is pretty cool. And then, we'll have her hair. That way she doesn't have to wear the shoes. The hair will be what moves her around. And we'll say we have evil hair. Bad hair day. Bad hair day. And we'll have the hair connect. Alright, so we have that going on. Let's see, maybe... It's one hell of a fray. Let's see, I think I'll reposition these guys. Let's see, we'll make them a little smaller. Okay. And then we'll put the sword. Let's see. Yeah, I liked the other card because it gave me a number, but this one will be like a major arcana one. So if it's going to be a major arcana type of thing, this beast has got to come out of frickin' nowhere. So let me give it its own layer. And just for fun, we don't really need this one anymore. Now, I could use this the way she, instead of her looking at, whoops, too many thoughts at once. Okay, instead of her looking at him, she's looking up at the sword that's about to come at her. So it kind of hesitates. It's like, do I take the dwarf, or it's not even a dwarf, is what you'll... I don't know. I don't think they were very, what's the word? PC back in the 80s. Not as much. I mean, we used words retard and stuff like that a lot. Um, let's see. So she sees a little person getting in the way, but this sword has got to come out of like nowhere. Okay, so anyway, we've got this image, but let's find us a sword. Something that looks menacing. Something that we could kind of be inspired by. I'm going to move this to the side here, make this a little bigger, and then let's see, find something mystical. Ooh, nice legs. All right, let me see if I can find. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, she's gonna be a fun fighter. Okay, let's see if I can find. Oh, here we go. I was looking for that. Hand holding sword. Um, so I want to have a sword in someone's hands, getting ready to attack. But what angles? What I want something coming at her. Um, just want to see if I can find a different angle. That's cool. That's cool too. Oh, that's tight. Okay. Was that Ten of Swords? Let's see. Something similar to that. But I just want a big hand with a sword coming out at her. Let's see, like this. Just at that angle. Okay, so what I'll do, let's see. Let's find a cool sword. Something that looks interesting. Oh, okay. This will help with the grip. And I think I'll save this. Look at that, art tips. Okay, so this will help with the grip. Now, do I want it to be let's see. We are a futuristic world here, so let's see if we can find something cyberpunkish or futuristic, and we'll combine that with the sword. Like, this is kind of cool, but I want to make it more cyber-ish. Okay. But I kind of like how this is formed. Okay, alright. Let's see what we got here. We'll move this over to the side, and then we'll throw some mechanical elements to it. So let's see. We want the sword to come like this, but I want it at an angle so that we can see it getting ready to attack. But I want it in a hand right here too. But then again, the sword is its own thing. It doesn't really need a hand. We'll give the man a hand. It could have his little tail behind it too. Okay, so let's make a box. Since we're working in perspective, we'll draw the sword within this box here. The smaller the tip, the closer it is to her. Okay, and we'll just kind of think in terms of 3D. We'll do this sort of thing. And we'll draw the sword within those parameters. Oops. Okay, so this is like one edge, one edge. Let's see, we'll do this sort of thing. And I want this to be straighter, so I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And I'm going to use the color blue to try to distinguish. Oops, this isn't bigger. Maybe a little bigger, just so we can see it over this. Oh, actually, why do that? We'll drop the opacity on this. Why hurt ourselves? There we go. Almost to where you can barely see it, so it's not too much of a distraction. Okay, and then we'll make another layer. Okay. And we'll have the sword come about right here. And again, it gets bigger here. Okay, so the center will be maybe about right here. All right, and then let's see, the hilt. Let's see, we'll take everything here. It will make it a little smaller so we can mess with it, see it a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so let me get rid of this. So I want the hilt to be the thing that we see, and we'll give it a dog face. Oh, that'd be tight. Okay, let's see. I was checking the time real quick. All right. Okay, so this is the hilt, and this is what we see, and then the center. We'll make it kind of centered right there. So on the very, I think it's called the pommel. Okay, and I'm still drawing kind of rough. Let's see, and it's curves. So we have the handle. Trying to keep in mind where things are here. We'll put it right here. We'll erase a little bit so we can see it a little clearer. All right. Okay, so I've got the pommel. It's going to be the biggest thing facing us because we're going to throw a dog face on there. Or a paw print, one or the other. Something that denotes that it's the ugly, what did we call him? The something hound. I forget what it's called. Grotesque. Hound grotesque. It could be HG. But I think a barking dog, an angry barking dog would be good. Okay, so we got the handle here, and just got to think in terms of roundness and stuff. Okay, and we'll make another rectangle. Let's see, we could probably just get away with doing it like this. Whoops. Let's see. Try to keep the angles right. Let me erase a little bit. Now there's a cool feature where you can do perspectives, but I've got a white background right now, and I don't think it'll show very well. We'll fake the perspective. At least for now. We'll just try to make it look kind of right. Okay. And then make this kind of straight. All right. See if we can emulate this sword here. We'll give it something going down right here. Alrighty, and then it's got something weird happening here. And then it comes out a little bit further. Okay, a little further, and then comes down a bit. I'm not concerned if anything gets cut off, because it kind of makes you wonder who's the most important thing. Because this thing is in front of us, who's the subject and stuff. So that's another thing to consider when you're drawing. It's almost an I don't want to say an afterthought, but it's something to keep in your mind. Who is the most important thing here? And let's see. So we've got her hair doing its thing. Make it a little clearer to see. I don't want to obscure too much. There we go. And I get to play with the hairbrush. Yay! Okay, so we got the big sword. It's coming at her. And I wanted it to kind of and then we can always do our lines type of thing. So this will light up with the same intensity. At first I was going to have the sword come from this direction from behind her, kind of like how the light was coming, but I'm like, you know, it's a little bit more dramatic coming from this direction. Okay. So this part of the sword should correspond with these little pikes right here. Now the last thing I think of is color. What color is everything going to be? Plus I wanted to make this more of a digital type of thing. But magic as well. Let me see if I can clean up some of my lines here. kind of straighten this out too. Try to give it enough sleek lines to make it look like it's going into it's like, give me my damn lines. It's like it doesn't want to be thick. Okay, all right. And then let's see, we kind of get the gist. All right, so we got that going on, and then in the background will be these guys, these jokers. And I think that needs to be smaller, or I can get rid of them completely. Okay. All right, so let's draw our fellow here. Now I want to find a picture of Peter Dinklage in looking this way towards her, and I don't know if I can. Let's see. I love that. Oh, okay, I'm gonna keep that. Gimme. Must have. Save under favorite poses. Okay, because I'm gonna use that one day. Okay. You know what would be tight is to see him looking down on somebody like that. Oh, that'd be tight. Okay. All right. There he is. All right. I like that expression. And it is in the right perspective, but his eyes are a little wrong. Plus, I don't want the beard. But you know, I like this. Hold up. I'm gonna see if I can make that work. Okay, so let's give myself one more layer. I'm gonna make this one a little opaque. And I'll use the word the sword on the final. Oh, how did that move? Oh, because when I think I adjusted, let me see, where's the sword? There's the sword. Let me move him back. Alright. Okay, so instead of blue, let's see, we'll use black. Okay, we'll drop this down some. Gotta be on the right layer. Okay. I might have to go into a different program, so let's see. I guess I could draw big. I think it's the nose that I have the most problem with. Yeah, I think I'll draw big and then don't sweat it. I don't like, let me see. the size of my brush is a little big. We'll just change his. Now I'm still struggling with what kind of style I want to use. I like the Disney style where it's nice and simple. Draw your simple lines. But I hope this kind of helps folks when you don't know what you want to draw, or your the idea that what you're drawing is so daunting that it makes you not want to do it at all, and and want to punk out, because I totally wanted to punk out. I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, use sources like Seventh Sanctum. That's what they're there for. Happily. Let's see. Like maybe a little smile. Let's see. But in the meantime, this isn't about Peter Dinklage. It's about me trying to get my character to fit. I'm gonna erase a little bit. Yeah, but I'm still trying to figure out the style that I want to draw in. There's realistic, and I'm trying to think of what would be fastest. And I think what I used was a combination of Disney and realism. I don't know. That's one of the things that holds me up. It's like, what style do you want to do it in? Do you want to do like an anime style? Do you want to just draw in your own way, or and sometimes I think the way I draw kind of sucks, and that holds me up. It's not a productive way of looking at things. So I end up second guessing myself a lot. Bring this up a little bit. But yeah, he's definitely an inspiration. Plus, he's like the Brad Pitt of dwarves. Sorry, little people. Stay politically correct. Now, I'm also keeping an eye out for some of the ways that I'll be on like webtoons, and I'm scoping out how other people draw and what attracts me to their stories. And sometimes it's the artwork first that draws me in, and then it's the story that keeps me. Yeah, so ultimately the story is important, because I was reading one webtoon. Started out really cute, and the main character was like super hot, or he would become super hot eventually, or occasionally, and then what was it called? Shucky ducky. I'm trying to remember what it was. Why struggle? Hold up. Anyway, I liked the style, and Let's see, where is, there it is, Webtoons. Sometimes this thing like crashes on me. Like, I like the style of this one, True Beauty. It's very beautiful. And I'm like, ooh, I could do that kind of style. Oh, what the hell? I just want to get to the characters. See, gorgeous. Effing gorgeous. See, it closes on me. I freaking hate this Webtoon crap. Okay, hold up. Okay, where are you going? Okay, so cancel that. There we go. It's better just to, at least for me, to read it off the thingy here. Okay, so I'm already signed in. So that's one of the things that I like. And then, let me go to my subscriptions. It's the artwork that gets me. Sometimes it's, and then the story like grabs you by the, you know, the gonads and just like spins you around. Those of us who have gonads, I'm not one of them, but ovaries, grabs you by the ovaries. How about that? Yeah, shucky duggy. But yeah, so that's like one of them. That one, and this is the one that it started off with. Love the way the artwork is, but then I started to hate the story. It went into a totally different direction, and it strayed away from what it originally was. Let me see if I can find your first page. There we go. It's called Lookism. That's what it was. And the first episode, I mean, artwork like that. I mean, the first picture you have is like dynamic. It's gorgeous. And then the story, it just took a bad turn. And it started turning me off, and then I stopped going altogether. I was hoping that the story arc was done, but it was like, but the art was good. It's just the story is just like wasn't my thing. But what's crazy is that Weak Hero, it's got great art, but it starts off violent, and it keeps staying violent. Oh, I'm sorry. I put on my screen the chat so I can see you guys. Hey, Holloway. Yeah. Caricature is fast. Yeah. Yeah. Story, don't sweat the art. Yeah. You're a storyteller, don't sweat the art. Yeah, but it's like, it's one of the things that keeps me coming back. It's super hot. Yeah, he was cute. Let's see, you have gonads? Oh, ovaries. Yeah. Nice pick. Thanks. Grabs you by the ovaries and spins you around and then retracts. I don't know. But yeah. So, and thanks for joining me. I knew I was being stalked. No, but, let's see. I gotta find one without the beard. Yeah, so he's my inspiration for this giant character, because I thought it would be funny to have, or different, to have a giant who is a little person, with the little person build. None of these are Peter. What? They have Peters, but none of them are the ones that I'm looking for. Okay, here we go. He does look a little bit more rugged with the beard, but... And you know what? Now it rolled up. It rolled he's supposed to be a hermit, so it would make sense to have facial hair. So I want to give him maybe a 5 o'clock shadow, something similar to that. And I've got to sit down and just draw all my characters so I can see what they look like. Yeah, but that's one of the things that I should give him like a big freaking smile, big shit-eating grin. Um, Caricature is fast, but it is fast. You're right, because Disney does a lot of they do a lot of caricature. Um, so let me cartoon up a little bit, to try to get that smile, because it's like that's another frustration is, at least for me, uh, who do I use? How do I do it? Whose perspective do I? These are the things that kept me from putting together um, stories and whatnot for the longest time. Especially like I'm trying to tell a story, but do I do first person? Do I do third person? Do I see? I need a real devilish looking smile. I'm gonna frown him up a bit. And then we'll give him the, yep, I need to do that, and I need to, let's see, we'll bring those eyebrows down a bit. We'll arch them a bit more, because the pug, he has the 5 o'clock shadow like that in the picture. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. He's got the chiseled face. Like, let me see if I can get back to my guy. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna have to do, is just like do my bit like that. And I think so he'll have like the saddy kind of not doggy eyes, sad doggy eyes, the nose that juts out like that. So his eyes are more deep set, and then he's got the, and he just reminded me of the pug, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is going to be your spirit animal. And I never thought of a pug being, I don't know, but I don't know. It's not my doggy of choice. Not that I really have a dog of choice. Let me make this a little smaller. But yeah, I think it's going to take a little time here. Design this one. Get that expression going. And we'll droop his eyes a bit. That's what it is. The droopy eyes. Maybe it's just like he's just seen a lot of stuff. It's like, I've just seen a lot of shit. It's like, I just kind of droop the eyes a bit. He's got the, let's see. We'll give him some wild eyebrows. And then, let's see, I'll see if I can get back to, there we go. His head's a little, kind of like a little flatter. Now, the description, he had mid-length hair. And it's supposed to be straight, but I gave it a bit of a wave, kind of like how he has his hair. And it can't hurt to have a bit of a mutton chop. Why not? Yeah, I think he's got pretty good hair. Let's see. Yeah, I want to stay politically correct, but my vocabulary sucks. Like, we don't call people midgets. They're little people. Nothing derogatory. And if I've offended anybody, I apologize. It's first thing in the morning, and there's no excuse for it. Ultimately. But yeah, 80s, I'm a product of that crap. Anyway, let me stop making excuses. There is no excuse. Be nice. Stop being a shitty person. Okay, so I'm going to bring him down a bit. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is bringing this entire picture into Adobe Draw. That way I don't lose too many of the details once it shrinks down. Okay, so for those of you who are just joining, I'll go ahead and do a quick replay because it's almost time for me to go. Ooh, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Now, video. I'm going to close this out for a sec. But this gives me the proportions I need. But imagine this as a giant. When he's all like powered up, he's huge. Let's see, do a replay. Okay, so this whole thing is that someone is jumping into a fight with in their civilian clothes. But this character here, I never designed any civilian clothes for him. So I had to figure it out. So I went into my favorite program and I'm sorry, Seventh Sanctum, and tried to give him an identity. And what it came up with was a hermit. And this guy is a hermit that's looking for, I guess, some sort of meaning of truth or something like that. And it came in, I'm like, okay, all right, so let me make him into like one of those guys that are trying to get trying to convert people. It's like, have you heard the word of God lately type of thing. Church of Religious Consciousness or whatever. He is affiliated with a goddess, and this is not her. But she's the one that's the person at the fight. So he dabbles. His power is basically tarot cards. And he usually wears a dog costume. His goddess makes him wear that. But he gets a lot of power from that as well. Yesterday, during the chat, Tatted Hearts popped in and gave me an idea for a character. And she says, wouldn't it be cool to have, or he, I'm not sure exactly what their gender is. I'm thinking it's male. I think he's male. But we'll say just Tatted Hearts. Popped in and mentioned that it would be cool to have a character who is a bad girl with hair that kind of does its own thing. And I'm like, yeah, that would be cool. And I know that from other videos that Tatted Hearts and I had even collaborated on, because it's like, Tatted Hearts is a big Ariana Grande fan. And I'm like, you know what? Why don't we make that into Ariana Grande? And so Tatted Hearts sent me some pictures of the idea of the hair. And I'm like, well, I'll draw that up sometime. But I didn't realize I'd be drawing it today. And I do need an alien villainess, and she fits the bill. And so with all those ideas, and Ariana Grande being short, she wears these platform high-heeled shoes, and I'm just going to make them ridiculously huge, but who can walk in that crap? But anyway, her hair has Tatted Heart says, well, what if the hair had a mind of its own and it does its own thing? And then I started thinking, well, why? Yeah, I'll show you more about the dog costume. And this was all generated from, or a good portion of it was generated from Seventh Sanctum. This whole dog animal thing was all different generators that I ended up taking advantage of. But long story short, let's see. Okay, so what if the hair was the sentient being and the body was just a means of, getting around? It's just a means of being able to stay in this particular dimension. So the hair is the sentient one. The body is just a tool. It's the accessory. And the hair is dressing up the body and making the body do what the hair feels like it wants it to do. But the hair is the boss. So that's an alien for you. What can you do? Yeah, it'd be fun. I hope we could. I like the way you think. I like your character. the little boy and his dog, and I could totally see them having some really cool adventures. I mean, we need to bring back something similar to what was like Fat Albert and uh, you know. Where the kids they did their own thing, but they still lived in, the real world. They still had real world problems. Um, yeah. So I think that would be freaking awesome. And even if it's not that, it could be something else, whatever. But I like that concept. Like a Static Shock. Static still had to live in the world that, that he was in. But escapism is freaking incredible, and the adventures you could go on, but still have to show what life is like. Okay, so the dog costume, it is his persona created by Seventh Sanctum, or generated through seventhsanctum.com. Let's see, where is my? It's interesting how some things disappear on here. Here we go. Slides. There we go. 30-day superhero challenge. And then what I do is I basically come into Google Slides, and I can share my slides, and that's how Tatted Hearts shared those ideas with me. Just get my email address, open up the slides, and then share. And like yesterday's idea, I was inspired by the Kevin Hart image here. Let's see. My characters are inspired by real people. And then I tweak them. Everything is inspired by something that just throws the spark at me. But I also, as I was going through Seventh Sanctum during the first week, I would jot down some of the things regarding those characters. And I would just grab different little images and whatnot. And from there, oh no, what happened? My little sharing thing is gone. Let's see. Mirror, damn you! I'm like, nobody should be seeing that. Here we go. Sweet. Now you guys can see what I'm flipping through. All right. There we go. I don't know how I lost it, but I'm always losing it. Let's see. But the dog costume, and as I'm drawing these characters, I'm trying to come up with how to make everything make sense. Yep, you got it right. seventhsanctum.com, and it'll open up to a blue screen that looks like like this. And you go to generator types, or you can go straight to random, and it gives you all kinds of different inspirations. So like if you wanted to create a whole nother world, a whole nother character, you can start with characters, you can go right on into names and naming, settings and places, and I just tapped every single one of these, I think, just to give me something. And one of the ones that I had fun with, let's see, you've got, where did it, realistic alignments. And I started giving these to all the characters, and they started to fit. So like you've got chaotic extroverted, cute evil, erotic good. Like if you were ever playing D&D and you always had to come up with an alignment, this is more realistic. It's like neutral bogus, or neutral misunderstood. So I gave all my characters these alignments. I haven't given this bad girl her alignment yet, so let's see what hers would be. Neutral violent. Perfect. She is neutral violent. But yeah, and with the little things that these generators give you, and this is for anybody who doesn't have any idea, not sure what you want to do. It's like I'm looking at this blank screen and I don't know what the hell to do. Try seventhsanctum.com, pull up a name, or even one of my favorites is the tavern name, and you can come up with some really funny names and cool names off of that. So this is what I ended up with the favorite costume for this guy. His description had him with he is this is the name that he gave me. He's neutral flighty. He's the hound grotesque. So I'm like, really? He's the hound grotesque? And then I'll start thinking, okay, think of ugly dog. So the first thing that I drew of him was him interacting with the main character, who's not in the series at all, the series of drawings at all, but and he would be a giant, because he fell on Giant Day. And I'm thinking, okay, a giant who has dwarfism. Tatted hearts, hey. Yeah, and then it also gave me other little aspects. I got his description from Seventh Sanctum, and I tried to hit everything that came my way and used everything that came my way. And so he's supposed to be an agent of alley cats and specializes in divinatory anthropology. These are all jobs that are in Seventh Sanctum that generated randomly. He has a weakness for, and I just typed in something for whatever, and it's the busty, half-alien, bunny girl adult actress. So if he ever comes across busty, half-alien, bunny girl adult actresses, he will lose his shit. So, in a good way, I guess, or in a bad way, depending on losing one's shit does. But always makes me feel good once I've done that. But it always stinks. Anyway, so I took everything that I could to kind of give him his own background, and it's all completely random. I never would have come up with something like this. It has his goddess, who's his boss, and then she just randomly sends him out to do neutral flighty things. And this one was on jumping into the fray day, but I never gave him a civilian identity. I haven't gotten that far yet. So that's where we are today, and I just got about less than 10 minutes. And let's see, where are we here? And I can show us where we are. And tatted, I started drawing. This is my shit too. But yeah, you know, sometimes we need a little laxative to lose our stuff, but it is what it is. But tatted, I started drawing your girl, and I decided to bring her into here, and I decided to make the hair the sentient being, and her being the accessory. So I was going to have the fray being her attacking the people in the back there that I was working on yesterday, and our guy here, the Hound Grotesque, whose name I can't pronounce. I think it's a Zaxta, is another random name that was given to me by Busty Bunnies. Yeah, so she could be Busty Bunny, you know, but her hair is the shit though. So he's trying to give her a flower, but in the meantime, his little pug tail has got one of his tarot cards behind him, and all the tarot cards are generated from Seventh Sanctum. So it just keeps it kind of fascinating, and then it's kind of like a seat of your pants type of thing. Awesome. But yeah, I'm going to figure out what she's wearing. I definitely want to get the thigh-high boots, but she never walks in them. Her hair is what moves her, you know, because the hair is the sentient being, and she's the accessory. She's earrings. That can sing very pretty. So maybe that's the the civilian identity for the villain. But anyway, the tarot card that we randomly generated, the sword. So it's coming at her, and I went into and for anybody who's like, I can draw, but I don't know what I want to draw, or I don't know what to draw, la 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 la. You know, all those different things that get you, you know, frustrated. That is what I've got so far. So I'm gonna do one last replay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and call it. You guys, thank you so much for popping in. I'm gonna go ahead and keep working on this. I might have some time today, and if I'm not too tired, I'll go ahead and if I don't get to it tonight, I can definitely work on learning. Continue this step-by-step type of thing on from blank screen to something. But yeah, try prompts. Prompts help. I've come across people or like this morning I was watching a Will Terry video where he was answering questions like people ask, where do you get your ideas for your children's books and things like that, or in general, and mentioning that they can't draw and missed all that back in school. And YouTube is such a great resource for catching up. You know, learning how to do things. The shorts are, I was telling a story about my brother being the fashion maven of the 80s and 90s, where he wore Bermuda shorts like that, and they were the most gaudy thing I've ever seen. So I gotta put it in a story. I gotta put that in my comic. So yeah, and Seventh Sanctum and my imagination has made the rest of the characters far more interesting than my main character. So I have to take a break, and eventually, once I finally get to the end of this challenge, and flesh out my character, because everybody's more interesting. Everybody's got a backstory that's far more interesting. They've got powers that are far more interesting. Well, I don't want to say they're more interesting than hers, um, but um, but yeah, they are to a certain extent. They're actually going through their own little adventures. But if I finished this, I was going to have these guys kind of cowering or getting ready to attack, or defend rather, because he was attacked. And you can see probably why. He probably brought it on himself. She ripped up her outfit to protect him in his little host club, dance club, whatever. Um, and then Ariana popped up, was about to waste them, and so did our usually giant in his human form pops in and decides he's going to use this tarot card, which is going to attack her or cut her hair, or if you, I guess if you cut her hair, that'll send her out of there. But her hair is pretty badass. Um, so anyway, again, Tatted Hearts, thank you so much for the character, and it would be a lot of fun. If we all like kind of throw some stuff in there. You never know. You never know. But check out, check out the Seventh Sanctum. I think you'd like it. Because it'll put your mind definitely on a path that you definitely did not anticipate. All right, you guys. I will leave you for today, and I will catch up with you later. And I apologize, Randy. I did catch your messages, but it was always like later in the day, or I wasn't at a moment where I could say, "Hey, how you doing?" It was like just waking up or passing out, go to sleep. You know, I don't know. Sorry about that. Life gets in the way a lot. All right, you guys, take care, and I will see you on the morrow. And who knows where this will go from there. All right. Take care. Bye-bye. And I will check out the Google Slides. Definitely.